Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're totally good.
Yeah.
So Andrea, I told her that you're making the video again, and
Oh,
so she
good.
should be here in a few minutes, I guess.
Okay. I just have to get Brother Friss's address. I just would think that he would have like she's right. You would need a Gmail address to be able to. I'll invite him anyways and see what happens here.
I mean, I sent him an email telling him that we were doing a Google Hangout, and that we didn't invite him. So, with the email he sent us. So.
Sorry, you were kind of cutting out there.
Oh, all I said was I sent him an email
Okay.
telling him when we were going to meet. Now we
Oh
invite
yeah,
him.
yeah. Hi Andrea. I did invite him. Okay, let's see. Looking for the recording.
Hey, sorry, I didn't get your call at all. So it wasn't until I checked back on here that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed a call from you guys. Oops.
Oh
No, you're
well,
all good.
it's the first one. The first one I had to redo it with Hangouts on Air, but now I'm having like a senior moment and trying to find where's the record button? Oh, let's see.
I think you're recording already because it says live at the top.
Oh, does it say live? That's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll minimize this. I guess this week we were supposed to, and I'll come back, I'll put you guys back up, but we were supposed to discuss the wilderness survival activity.
Yeah.
Did you guys turn that in this week?
I actually got confused by the instructions because I thought that was something we had to do with the group first before we submitted it. So, yeah, I got it completed, but not submitted.
Oh,
Oops.
yeah. And then did one of you guys from last week, because I read this last week, it says acquire the password from your instructor, so I have to get did you guys get a password from him from last week?
No, because,
No.
yeah. He's kind of hard
Okay,
to
well, I
reach,
was
too.
worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've emailed him a couple times and I have a hard time hearing from him. I don't know, maybe he's busy. Sounds like
Mm.
he's pretty busy based on, I guess he's going to school too. Okay, so the activity, it says, plan to spend an hour with your group to come to a consensus about the ranking of the items. So I guess at the end of the day, by the end of the meeting, we should all pretty much agree on how we rank all of these 14 items. If one of us disagrees, we need to listen, or if someone feels strongly, the person who disagrees, or if you have a strong opinion about something, um, basically it says use persuasive techniques to create a consensus. So, basically help us understand the reasons for your rankings. And then I will get the link submitted, but then I will submit the assignment as we go along. When we're all done ranking it out.
Sounds
So,
good.
yeah, Eric, how did you rank yours?
Yeah, so I'll just go down top to bottom, I guess.
Okay.
The fanny pack food I put
Uh-huh.
as number 5,
Okay.
and my reasoning behind that was I didn't think it was as important as the other items, and that you could get your own food, scavenging, I guess. And you can go longer without food than water, but it's still
Okay.
important. So I put that as
Yep.
5. Um, the plastic covered map I put as 8. Because I thought, like, if you're already out there, you probably know your way around or know the general direction. I would hope, because if you had planned that out correctly. 6 personal flotation devices I put as number 3. And I put that as number 3 because if you need to follow the river to get home or something, you can always repair the canoes and get back in them. Or you could take apart the flotation devices and use them for supplies to make a camp or something like that. The fishing poles I put as number 12.
I did too.
Yeah, you put them as 12 too?
Yeah.
I just thought they weren't super important because they're broken. So you could make your own fishing poles out of, sticks or whatever, right? And just use the line that you take from the flotation devices, the string, I guess. The set of clothes I put as number 9.
Same. Sorry, go
Wow.
on.
Sweet. Yeah, my reasoning with that was they're as important as the other items and they're wet, so it'd take a while to dry out and use them for other things. The frisbee I put as 14.
Yeah, I definitely did that too.
Heck yeah. I really did not see a point to the frisbee. Yeah, I had no idea why the frisbee was even on there, but the purification tablets I put as number 4. I thought that was really important, just because you can't really trust the water around you that much. You could get an infection and like dysentery or something and die from that. Duct tape, this might be a little low compared to your guys's, but I put 10.
Mine was 11.
Yours was 11.
Mine was 10.
Okay, sweet. Then maybe we're not that far off. Yeah, so I put 10 because I didn't think it was as important as the other items below that I'm going to get to, I guess. I put the whiskey as number 6 because I thought the whiskey would be a good sterilizer if you had any injuries or if you got any later on. I also thought it would be good for starting a fire. Thought it would be good for, just anything of that sort of nature. The insect repellent I put as 13. It's because I felt, you can make a fire with the insect repellent, but you could do the same thing with the whiskey. And, you're not going to die of bug bites, so I had that pretty low. Matches I put at 11. And my reasoning for that was, you can have a flint fire, or you can do the, 2 sticks together type of thing. I'm a Boy Scout, so I didn't think, having matches was super important.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the whiskey to start the fire, that makes it a lot easier if you don't have matches. Parachute cord I put as number 7. I thought that would be good for making splints. Also for making tents or anything of that sort. Making a temporary backpack or something. And the compass I thought was super important. I put that as 2 because I felt like if you knew where you're coming from, you could gauge where you're going to go later on with the compass. And the sleeping bags I put as number 1 because I think in the reading it said that it got really cold at night. And if you're wet and soaking, you don't want to get hypothermia or be exposed to the elements. And I also felt the sleeping bags could be used, fabric to make a tent or a backpack or something like that too.
Yeah, fair enough. Andrea, do you want to go over yours?
Sure. I listed this for me personally because I'm not Boy Scout certified or anything like that. So just looking at this, knowing how I would be out in the wilderness, this is kind of how I ranked it. Um, which yours was good, you know, because you can be a lot more, what's the word, self-sufficient. I just know I'm not going to be like that. So,
That's okay.
so I put number one, fanny pack for food. And I guess my thought process is if you're trying to find your way back and you're
I'm
tired, you
sorry.
need food.
I'm sorry. What number did you give that? It cut out just a little bit.
She gave it 1, right?
Yes.
1.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I did
I'm
Okay.
it
not Boy
because
Scouted.
I know. I figured it's really important to have the energy to keep walking, and
That's
two,
true.
I can't hunt to save my life. I would need to spend some time out in the wilderness before I get to that point. And then for a plastic covered map of the region, I picked three um, because I guess I figured it's pretty important to have at least a general idea of where the region is at. And then for six personal flotation devices, I picked six because I'm like, I'm not really sure where they're at in particular or when they would need flotation devices, but you know, it's kind of in the middle range. Two fishing poles, I picked 12 because they're broken. Set of clothes for three, I picked 9 because they're wet. One yellow frisbee, I put 13 because I'm like, I guess you might need some sort of entertainment when you're taking breaks. Like, I don't know. And then water purification tablets, I picked 2 because, you know, it's kind of high up there. You
Okay,
need water.
Andrea, hold on 1 second. Eric, are you having a hard time hearing Andrea too, or is it just me?
I can hear.
Yeah.
You can. Okay, so.
I'm
But are
writing
you
this down
hearing
as
all
we
her words?
go.
Oh, that's good. Only maybe I'm at a hotel this week. I'm traveling for work, so it could be that my internet connection is bad. I'm sorry I keep interrupting, but I just want to make sure that I hear you. But yeah, thanks if you could write it down too. I'm writing down what I hear. Sorry
Oh, you're
about that,
good.
Andrea. Go ahead.
No,
Okay,
you're
that's
good.
fine. um, I put 2 for water purification tablets because that's important up there with food. Duct tape, I put 10 because you don't know what kind of stuff you'll need to put together with duct tape. Whiskey, I put 14, and I guess I didn't know you could do fire or make a fire or sterilize with whiskey. And I was just, yeah, I put 14 on the bottom just because of like what use would I have? It would only dehydrate me. um, insect repellent, I put 7 because you never know with mosquitoes nowadays. Matches, I put 8 because I can't start a fire without some help. Parachute cord, I picked 11 because I figured it would be somewhat important, but you can use like your coat or something like that if you really need to cover yourself so you don't get rained on. Compass, I picked 4 because you do need to find your way around, and then 6 sleeping bags, I picked 5 because you need your sleep.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, I'll run down my list and I'll try and tell you why. I'm sort of in between. Um, my dad has 2 daughters. I'm the oldest, and I was his Boy Scout of sorts. So I'm kind of halfway sufficient, but then the other half of me really doesn't want to have to be worrying about that. So the fanny pack of food, I gave number 1. The plastic covered map of the region, I gave it a 5. I really don't know why I did that. As I was listening to you guys, I kind of changed my mind a little bit. I probably would have ranked it higher, but the 6 personal flotation devices, I said 8 on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
The fishing poles, I put 13. The clothes, I put 6. The frisbee, I put 14. I'm like, unless someone wants to use it for a plate or a cup, but that's what my hands are for, I guess. The water purification tablets, I put number 2, for a lot of the same reasons you guys said, the dysentery and just getting sick and all that. The duct tape, I put 11. And the whiskey, I put 12, but listening to you guys talk, because it can be a disinfectant as well as starting a fire, I would definitely agree to move it up. The insect repellent, I put 7. Matches, I put number 3. The parachute cord, I put 10. The compass, I put 9. And the sleeping bags, I put 4.
Okay. So were we supposed to write down the numbers from every one of us into the table, or are we supposed to talk about it?
Well, what we're supposed
not.
to do. Well, so it says, I'm looking at the table, like I'm looking at, my table that I filled out. And so the first column is individual error, and I don't know what that means, A, and then B is my rankings, C is group ranking, and then D is the expert ranking, I don't know what that is, and then E is group error, and F is the persuasion. I was just going to, in column C, put in our group ranking in that one, what we decided, what we agreed on. I don't know, what do you guys think?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yep. So I was thinking, so I think the purpose of writing down each other's numbers, the purpose of that was to kind of just gauge where we had the similar thought process. That's the only reason I wrote them down, is just so we could get
what we
agreed
was
on
writing
faster.
Yeah, so it looks like we all pretty much agreed on,
The fishing poles for sure.
yeah, so let's see, the fishing poles, what number do you want to give that, 14 or 13?
Looks like me and Andrea gave it 12 and you gave it 13.
Okay, so what do you guys want? I'm up. You want to do 12?
12 or 13 is fine with me, either one.
Okay, well, let's give it 12 for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like we kind of agreed with the clothes as well. Me and Andrea put 9 and you put 6.
Okay, so we can put 9 if you want. I'm good with that.
You sure? Because I could meet in the middle with that.
Yeah, maybe like 7 or 8. What do you guys think?
Yeah, 7 works for me.
Okay.
What do you think, Andrea?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I think we definitely agreed on the frisbee as 14.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I agree.
Cool. The water tablets. You want to do 2 on that?
We were close on those.
I think you guys put a good argument for 2 because Andrea and Betty had 2 and I had 4.
Yeah, I think 2 is good.
I think 2 is good on that too.
What do you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. And then we were close. What else were we close on? I circled something else.
The duct tape, Andrea and I had 10, and you had 11, Betty.
Yeah.
So 10. You want to do 10 for that?
Yeah, let's do 10 for that. Eric, what was your number 1 again?
Mine was the sleeping bags.
Oh, and Andrea and I said it was both the food.
Yeah. That's like that.
You don't need to see the hangry part of ourselves.
The angry part.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we'll have to come back to that maybe.
Mm,
Um, let's see. What about, let's see, we got purification tablets out of the way.
Insect repellent. You guys both were 7s, and I was 13. You guys want to do like 8 on that?
that
Yeah,
works.
okay, I'm good with that.
What do we pick for the, what number do we pick for whiskey?
Whiskey, we did, or we haven't done whiskey yet.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I would tend to agree. I put it lower because I don't know what I was thinking. It is a good disinfectant, so if someone's cut or you need something like that, and it will help you start a fire if you need to.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
So I put 6, Andrea put 14, and Betty put 12. Do you guys have
Oh, we
any
should.
ideas of what you want to put for that?
We can move it up to. In agreement with 6. What do you think, Andrea?
I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
I'd be thinking 6 or within the first 5. Either one
Yeah,
work. Yeah.
yeah, I'm good with 6 if you are.
Okay.
Works. Uh, just should we just continue down the
Yeah,
list,
let's
or
just continue then. Um, matches.
so I did
Let's.
11, Andrea did 8, and you did 3, Betty.
Yeah, but I'm willing to move it lower because there's other ways now that we can make fire for sure. So I'm definitely we can move it down like maybe 9.
Yeah, that works for me.
Same.
Okay, and the parachute cord.
We were
I
all
gave.
pretty close on that.
Yeah, do I want to give it, we have a 10 and a 12. What about 11?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, which puts us at compass.
Sorry, the baby was crying. What do we put down for parachute?
Oh, the parachute, 11.
11. We did 11,
Yeah,
Andrea.
Yeah, I put that down.
okay. And then, let's see. So that leaves us with, and I guess that the two things that I struggled with is if we lost them, and I gave this a lot of thought before I did it, but then after I turned it in, I thought, I should have put it higher because even if you lost the map, but you kind of remembered the layout of the map, I think without a compass, you're kind of messed up. You're screwed. Sorry, pardon that. That's just
No, that's
me.
all good. That was kind of my reasoning. I thought with the compass you could kind of, as long as you had a general layout, you could figure out where you're going.
Yeah, so looks like, Eric, you gave it a 2. We'll disregard mine because I gave it pretty low, and Andrea, you gave it a 4.
Yeah, I kind of. Hold on.
Hard when they're hungry, they're hungry. That's just it. Um, so definitely we should, obviously 9 is too low. We already have a 2 for the water purification tablets. Um, we're going to
You
end
want
up,
to do like a 3 or a 4?
yeah, I think 3. What do you think,
3.
Andrea? 3 on the compass?
I was thinking that too, and that's why I ranked them so close together because they both go well together. But 3 is, I mean, compass is more important than the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then sleeping bags, I gave it a 4. Andrea, you gave it a 5, and Eric, you put that as number 1, which
Hmm.
staying warm at night is important.
Um, I'm good to move that up to like a 4 or 5 if you guys want. Just because I think I like, with the clothes,
And if we have a fire going,
and if you have a fire going,
so
you're a lot better off.
should we put it as 4 for now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so there's 4. So that leaves us with the food, the map, and the flotation devices. And we still need a number 1.
Mhm.
Between those 3 things, I would say the food would be number 1. I get hungry too, so
You would think food would be number 1?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so let me ask you guys a question, not that I want to rehash this all over again. Maybe we kind of went about this the wrong way. Maybe we should have like hashed out what number 1, 2, and 3 were first. You know what I mean? And then
Mm,
kind of agreed on the rest. But um, to some degree, Eric, I agree with you. I think that while, I've been known to watch episodes of, I think they're dumb, those 2 guys that go out and get lost in the wilderness. Dual Survival, is that what that's called? My husband watches that
yeah.
show. And the guy that likes to eat bugs or whatever, heaven forbid if I had to eat a bug, but I guess I would do it if I had to. And then thinking about that too, because cheese and salami and stuff, it's going to go bad after some time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to keep it fresh or good so you'd run out of it pretty quick. What do you think, Andrea?
I kind of see where you guys are coming from. It's also kind of tough, if the case study focused more on where the wilderness was at, because if you're in a place like Georgia, you probably wouldn't be able to find many bugs around unless it's a certain time of year. Um, but I guess
Yeah.
just for this case, I kind of agree with what you guys said. We could just leave it as 1 for now. We could always adjust it as we go along.
Yeah, and I might even call that. Do we have a 5 yet, Eric? I was trying to look at these in order.
We don't have a 5.
Mm,
Would you think food would fall 5 or lower?
I think it.
the fan
I mean, from what it looks like, we need a 1, a 5, a 13, and yeah, those 3 numbers, a 1, a
Yeah,
5, and a
those.
13.
Yeah.
I would say the flotation devices would be 13, and then
Uh,
either map or food would be 1.
um. Let's
But
see. I gave the flotation devices an 8. What did you give them, Andrea?
I gave it a 6
And
because
Eric,
it
you
was
gave
very,
the.
yeah.
Well, and Eric, you gave them a 3 though,
yeah,
right? I mean, in case we. Go
my
ahead.
reasoning with that was if they need to go down the river for any reason, because they're trying to find their way back home from the river, then they would have that if they got the canoes fixed. And if they used that, if they took them apart and used them for supplies. But I mean, like, we already have the sleeping bags that are synthetic up there, pretty high, and then
Yeah.
the set of clothes. So I feel like you could take those apart too, just as easily as the flotation devices. So I
Yeah, I
think I
guess.
rated that a little too high, but
Yeah, I guess I feel like the flotation devices are because I that's the other thing. my husband having been in the Marine Corps, you can use your pants like ensure like to float for a little while, help you float if you need to float, as long as the water wasn't infested with some horrible creatures. There's my worst case scenario.
Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. Or I'm in Florida, so you can never know when you run into an alligator or a crocodile in the water. So, or
Mhm.
yeah, by the shore. So, um, I guess I feel like, do you think that 5 is too high for the flotation devices, or should it be a 13?
I almost want to say 5 because even though it is a general area that the case study's talking about, I
Hmm.
mean, you could always sleep in them too, you know. I feel like
Yeah,
the
that's
frisbee is,
true.
is the least useful one. So,
Yeah.
Um,
So, okay.
yeah, I mean, I can definitely see where you guys are coming from. So what were you guys thinking of giving that then?
We were thinking 5, but saving this as something else so that I have my other one. Um, so, so if we give that a 5, that leaves us with 13 and 1. And I guess if that's how we were going to do this, I would say that food is 13 and the math is 1. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it honestly depends. Like, there's not enough information to tell us like how far we are from civilization or like anything like that. Because if you're only like a day's journey, you don't need like food really. But if you're like 2 or 3 weeks out, then you might need some food. So I kind of just wish the case would give a little more info, because that would help kind of with the
Yeah.
ranking a bit.
yeah.
Um, and like especially like you were saying, Andrea, where it's at, uh, completely depends on how much food you could find, if you could find any at all. Um,
Yeah.
but then again, like if you're in a small area and you already know where you're at, you don't really need a map either.
Yeah. That could be, I don't know, decisions. Let me just go back to the directions. Oh, see, I just saw this whole thing right here. How to score it. The internet at the hotel is incredibly slow.
No, that's all good.
Um, yeah, I was just trying to get back to the instructions, but that's going to take 100 years. So, um, as soon as that comes up, we can talk about that. Oh, so it says here, after reaching consensus, add your group's rankings to column C. Follow your group leader's instructions. So I have to get the instructions from him for the rest. Okay, which I will do. I'll email him tonight and tell him I need that.
Okay.
But what I was trying to do was get back to where it described the scenario. It locked me out of that. Yeah, which I don't know. I guess I kind of, which is why I brought up a few minutes ago, like maybe we should have really like hammered out and sort of argued, not argued, but had a little more discussion about what was what should have been really number 1, 2, or 3 instead of leaving. You know what I mean? Instead of, I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe it's right, and I'm just.
Yeah, I think you could do it either way. It's kind of up to interpretation. I just thought it'd be easier if we.
Yeah. So would you say then, based on the discussion we just had, that the map could be 13 and the food could be 1, or should they be the other way around?
I almost want to say map to be 13, because as long as you have the compass,
Exactly. I think the compass makes up the difference.
yeah.
And so 1 for the food?
That's what I would
Do you all
personally.
agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like like I said, you don't. I mean, you don't have enough information. You don't know how much you have, and cheese and salami. Like I said, it does go bad after some time. So if it's hot, you kind of have to eat it fast. But at least you have some in the beginning,
Mhm.
and then you could figure out, eating everything else later.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
guys, brother Freeze, just emailed us or emailed me and said that he's able to listen to our meeting, but he can't get the microphone or camera connected to join us.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we could always send him the link of our hangout, right?
Yeah. What I'll do is when I email the group, like you did last week, Andrea, I'll just copy him on the email and say this is the link, this is what we discussed, and say that the 3 of us were able to meet at this time.
Mhm.
Well, I think when you added him, did you add him as someone that has access to this, or just someone that's like able to watch it?
No,
'Cause
I
I think
added
that'd
him
be
as someone that
preferred.
could have access.
Oh, okay, then I'm
Yeah, no,
not
I
sure.
invited. It's actually it was a public hangout, so I invited public, by default. Let me just see if I can do it one more time.
Okay, you're all good. I just wanted to check, because yeah, that may have been the reason
Say
why you
that.
can't.
Say that. Yeah, so I made it public and I just double checked.
Okay,
Weird that he couldn't. Yeah, I'll send him the link.
no problem. I
I'll
have
send
another
him the
group meeting
link
in
for
10
sure.
minutes anyways, so.
Okay.
Same.
Um,
But next
yeah,
time for sure.
yeah, I'll find out, like, I'll double check and make sure that it sounds like he could get on. Like I said, I made it public, so no problem. So, do we want to just go over these again and make sure that we feel good about them? Are you guys okay with them the way they are?
I could do either.
Yeah, I'm fine with them the way they are. I just need to talk to Brother Freese about getting the instructions to do the rest of fill out the rest of the table properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll plan on doing that as soon as we hang up. I'll email the link and our sheet to the group, and then I'll email Brother Freese and copy you guys to get the password so that the password so we can know how to do the rest of the assignment. Does that
Okay.
work? Great. And then
Yeah.
awesome. And then oh yeah, it looks like it says 1 viewer, so probably that is Brother Freeze. Hi, Brother Freeze. Who wants to be the leader next week?
I could do it next week. Yeah, Brother Freeze just emailed me again, and he said in our ordering that we should remember warmth should come first, then shelter, and then food.
Okay.
But I didn't remember that being in the instructions for the case study when we
Yeah,
first filled it out, I guess.
yeah, I didn't remember that either, but that's why I was trying to get back to the instructions. Let me see. Case study preparation instructions. Let's see what it says. You know, it may be, Eric, that I don't have him in my circles that way. I bet you I need to add him to my, to my, like my contacts, my Google contacts. I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, Eric. Sorry, I don't mean to stop you, but what was the email that Eric Freeze sent you?
He sent me two. One was that he could hear us, but he couldn't talk or see us.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one was that when we're rating this, we should remember warmth, shelter, and food in that order.
True.
I mean, I longer, so I don't know if we want to meet up again to do this or look over it, or if we think we're comfortable with where we're at.
Well, I just went back and I looked at I just was reading that. I was listening to you guys, but reading. So, Upper Minnesota, says you have gone on a water boundaries canoe trip with 5 friends to Upper Minnesota and Southern Ontario. Your group has been traveling Sagonagons Lake to Kawipney Lake, following Canyon Falls. 15 to 18 miles away is the nearest road. The lake is impossible to cross in bad weather because of the rain. The nearest town is 60 miles away. That town has plenty of camping outfitters but limited medical help, so residents rely on hospitals further to the south. The terrain is 70% land, 30% of water, with patches of land here and there. Bears are not uncommon to this region. Mid-May, when daytime temperatures range from 25 degrees to 70 degrees, often in the same day, and nighttime temperatures can be in the 20s. Rain is frequent. It's unusual for the weather to stay the same for more than a day or two. Rain one day, warm the next. Luckily nobody, and I forgot about this. Luckily no one was killed, but one person suffered a broken leg and others had cuts and bruises. Both canoes were damaged severely. Both were bent in half, one with a tear of 18 inches and 2 tears of 12 and 15 inches. We lost the packs that held the tent, most clothing, nearly all the food, cooking equipment, fuel, first aid kit, flashlight. So everything on this list is all we have left. We have to figure out how to survive in these unpredictable and harsh conditions until we can get help. Eric, did you say you have to go?
Yeah, I have another meeting at 7. So
Okay.
I kind of planned it, so we have an hour.
No, that's totally fine. Do we want to think about it and then maybe let's see, tomorrow I'm on a plane around this time. We can chat over email if you want, if that makes more sense.
That would work easier for me.
Hey guys, Brother Frizz just emailed me. I don't know if it's Freeze or Frizz.
I don't know either. Hope he would tell you.
He emailed me twice more. And he said that the 3 things, the warmth, the shelter, and the food, those aren't in the instructions, but it's just, the basic means of staying alive. So just to remember that. And then he said he can see us now, but he still can't respond. And then the other email,
weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. The other email he sent said that we don't need to meet again. We did a good job this time going around.
Good.
He said that matches, number 1, rope and sleeping bags to create shelter near the very top as well. But I think we gave a pretty good. The rope and sleeping bags, we have pretty high towards the top. Matches, I think we don't have it as number 1, obviously. But right. I thought we gave good justification for it not being number 1 because we justified 2 other ways to make fire as well.
Yeah.
Correct.
He just gave us a Gmail account too. You want me
Oh,
to
what
forward
is
that
it?
to you?
Yeah, would you mind? Because then I can, that'll probably easier.
Yeah, no, for
That
sure.
way he'll be able to see it, participate next time for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, here we
Okay,
go.
awesome.
Okay, I just emailed that to you guys, so you should
Okay,
have that.
right.
Did you
Okay,
send it to me as
awesome.
well?
I did, Andrea.
Oh, perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
so
Yep.
then, brother, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, brother Fries or Frisk, but since I was the group leader this week, my name's Betty Giron, Giron. Maybe you can email me the password or the instructions so I can complete the rest of the worksheet. And if not, I'll email you separate. And then Eric, you'll be the group leader next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, you guys.
Yep, thank
Yeah, I'll have
you.
to go.
Okay, see you next week. Okay,
See ya.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, yeah. Bye.